So you want to start playing the W.C.S. Realism Eastern Europe conflict servers. These are my favorite servers on ARMA Reforger right now. And if you've not played them before, they can be a little bit overwhelming. Let's crack into it. I'm just going to jump into an empty one just to give you some tips and tricks on your first time joining. Okay, so you've just spawned in and this is a fresh server. There is nothing that has been built. So this is a perfect experience for us. Ignore that body. I spawned in with my old gear, so just reset. First thing you want to do is you want to go over to this board and you can start building. This is where you can build certain things in different parts of your base. In all the bases, it just takes supplies. Now, in the main operating base, the supplies do regenerate themselves. However, in other areas, you're going to either take small jeeps or big transport trucks to allow you to transport these supplies to the base and then use that supplies for building, resupplying, respawning. But if you want me to get into like the supplies and the logistics and how that works, let me know down in the comments. But we're just going to focus on a few things as when you first start or first join the WCS servers. The first thing you want to do is get an ammunition supply point. I have put one down. You can see here it's got the white border and then some pegs. So as we go across, you can see it here. We grab our entrenching tool, which you will get on your first time spawning. This is just the default loader that I'm currently wearing. Okay, so this is the ammunition supply dump. You have two boxes. You have the armor, and then you have the weapons. Head on over to the armor. Scroll down to the bacon loadout editor. Choose your armor that you want. I'm just going to stick with this for now. But what you can do is you can edit on certain items to customize it and add a few things. So you can add a balaclava. You can add some night vision goggles. And I'll just say that is pretty good to go. Once you've got your clothing, the next step is to get a few items. You go onto the arsenal menu, which is the top one. You're going to need a few medical items and supplies to make sure you're going to have a safe life out there. So you got bandages, tourniquets, morphine, saline, a map. We already have one in the default loadout, but make sure you have a map. You can have a compass if you wish. But I will show you another thing that I use instead. You need an entrenching tool, which you've already got when you can see down here. You can get some epinephrine. Some binoculars already here. A radio. It's a massive important one. We'll get onto that shortly. And that looks like it's it. So you've got bandages, tourniquet, morphine, saline, and epinephrine. You can get a med case if you wanted to. And there's obviously several other things you can add. But the first page is usually the most helpful one. Next, you step over onto the left box, go down to Bacon Loadout Editor, scroll across at the top here to the guns, and then choose a gun. These are all some of the presets that you can use, but you can customize them after. So for an example, I'm just going to go with a AN94, but I really don't want a holographic on it, so I'm going to mouse over, press X to edit. And we choose a secondary gun. We can get a grenade, get some smoke grenades, and there we go. We've got your gun, your heals. You can get an RPG if you wish, which you can scroll on over to open arsenal. Second one down. There you go. We've got an RPG now. You notice at the bottom right of the screen though, I only have one magazine in the gun. If you're looking at the box, you can scroll down to take active weapon ammunition. Hold F, get a couple of magazines. I usually take 4, maybe 5. Take some underbarrel grenade launchers. I usually take 2 or 3. Take a grenade if you wish. I've already got one. I don't really need any more. You can go on open arsenal, scroll across, and you can find the ammo here naturally as well. So you can see there's some ammo here. You can also get more RPG rockets. But this is the loadout you need. You've got your armor. You've got space to put all your supplies and heals. You've got your guns, you've got a radio, you've got binoculars, you're ready to go. Before you leave base though, make sure on either of these boxes, scroll down to the third option, and you can do save loadout. Once you do this, you can see at the top right of the screen, this will now be saved, and when you respawn, you can choose this loadout. Another way to do it is you can scroll down to Bacon Loadout Editor, scroll to the floppy disk icon, if you remember what they look like, and then you can press X to save loadout. Make sure if you want to save a new loadout or you want to overwrite it, make sure you press X instead of left click, because this will make you equip all of the items on this saved loadout. So now you're ready to leave the base. There's a few other tips that I want to give you, a few other things to get you ready for the battlefield. The first one is knowing what the map is, or what the difference in the map points are. If you hold M, you can grab your map. Now, this is the Mogadishu server. I've just joined for a empty server. But if you're playing the other maps, the same tip will be useful on the other maps. You can see you've got different icons for the capture points. So you've got the green one here. You've got the yellow ones here. And then obviously this is the enemy base over here. But the difference in these is these cannot be captured unless there's a connecting point next to it. And then other times there may need to be building required on the bases to allow them to be captured as well. We'll get into that maybe in another video. But this, just for your first day, you can only cap the ones that are not this shape, for an example. And if you wanted to get some more XP as well, you can click these things here, which will allow you to set it as an objective. Now you've set this as an objective, you'll get more points for capturing it. Once you captured it, this little red line will then be allowed to be connected to the next one at the vineyard. So that is the base of capturing things. It just, you know, it decentralizes the fact that you can't just run all the way to here at the gas station, sit here, and then just attack anyone coming from the main base. If you had the bus depot, or you had everything up to the bus depot, then by all means. Or if you had, if you went down this southern line, and you've got this, then yeah, you could use this, fortify the base, and then you can use it to try and attack Black Hawk from a different angle. Another thing is the main objective, the mission of the game. These pink names here, you've got 4 on this server. There's 5, I believe, on the other map. But the pink names, if your team controls the pink names for 2 minutes, all at the same time, you win the game. That is the main objective of the game. A few other tips before you leave the base, and you'll be right as rain. The first one being your radio. Once you have a radio equipped, you can press G and you can open up this menu. The top one is typically your squad. You can change this by mousing over and then using the scroll wheel to be able to change your frequency. The bottom one is typically platoon chat. Now, with a warning, platoon chat can get a bit leery. If that happens, all you need to do is press G, mouse over it, scroll 1 away, and then that just saves your ears. The next tip I want to give you as well is your binoculars. Your binoculars are such a handy tool for one reason, and that is the rangefinder. Not all binoculars have this, but if you hold R whilst using your binos, you get the red little dot in the center of the scope. Once you let go, you'll be given a range at 705, which is massively helpful for long distance engagements, attacking vehicles with RPGs or underbarrel grenade launchers, and especially sniping from extremely long ranges. Not all of them have the rangefinder, but as you can mouse over them, they do say binocular rangefinders. The next one, quite handy, is your watch. The watch does tell you a few little things, a few little good tidbits of information. One of them, not being the time. Once you have your watch out, you can hold R, turn the brightness up and down, or you can switch mode. If you switch mode, this then gives you a compass. Just a disclaimer, when you are holding a gun and you can see the watch, it is not accurate. So I am presumably facing somewhat south. That is telling us we are facing east. However, you hold it in your hand, this is a bit more accurate. But if you're running with a squad, if you're all using the watch, the numbers are going to be relative to the people using the watch. That pretty much sets you up for your first day on ARMA. You know about the radios, you know how to save your ears from the platoon channel, you have your loadout saved, you have a gun. And the last tip, the best tip of all, your best friend, F1 is earplugs. Anytime you're in a vehicle, anything bigger than a Jeep, so that goes for Humvees, armored vehicles, supply trucks, helicopters. Anytime you're in a vehicle, press F1 and enjoy the silence. But that probably ends us on the little tips on getting started on the worst case scenario servers. I've been having so much fun on these servers. I've enjoyed every experience I've had, and every day is different. You meet new people every day, you have a laugh, you play the objective in different ways, and it's just such a good experience. Hopefully you guys come and join us on the W.C.S servers. Hopefully this video will help you get started rather than spending the first hour in base scratching your head, being overwhelmed, and just seeing other people doing the same. If you guys want me to go into more depth into how ARMA works or something specific about ARMA, make sure you leave it in the comments. and then we can get started on that. And also, if you just want to come and check out ARMA, if you think it might be for you, but you're unsure, you can always check us out on twitch.tv/AzzyUK, as I am streaming this regularly on a daily basis. But that's all from me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the battlefield.